are one of those who helped pave the way for people like me. Wonderful to share the mic with you tonight. And it is indeed a really exciting time right here as the Progressive Liberal Party not only is celebrating its 55th National Convention, but 70 years as a party. So there's a lot to look forward to tonight. And of course, it's expected that a lot will come out of this convention. Ahead of a by-election.
Yes.
Ahead of a by-election in a few weeks.
But we want to welcome the Honorable Allison Maynard Gibson, generational legacy, with her father being one of the deputy prime ministers of this country with the 1967 majority rule cabinet. But you lived with history, you were part, I witnessed so much, and I just want to say I'm particularly excited because we have the High Excellency Paulette Zonico, who is going to be joining us in the next segment. But what does this convention mean to you as a second generation Progressive Liberal Party?
First of all, thank you very much for the honor of being here. I feel so privileged to be here, and especially with you, Debbie Bartlett, another icon, and as you have said, Julian Reed. Our theme, building on progress, driving new change. So, and in the third generation, Debbie, from my grandmother to father, and now here we are, and this driving new change. We're looking forward. You see the energy in this room, people celebrating the whole idea of the solid foundation that the PLP stands on. 70 years later, we are excited. We understand what new change means. Look at the young people here. Look at the cross-generational appeal here. This is how we build a new nation and drive new change.
I also talk about the importance of convention. You know, people think it's just a time to get together and have a good time, but it's a very important event, isn't it?
It's a very important event. Our party's constitution calls for regular conventions to be held. It's a time when we come together, we talk about the officers that are elected. We demonstrate democracy. Our Prime Minister, all of our Prime Ministers have been our leaders of the party have been very, very clear about we are a party of the people. The delegates choose the officers of the party. The delegates we amended our constitution in convention. The delegates understand the party officers, MPs, cabinet ministers come to convention to account to the delegates and also to account to the people of the Bahamas. In our democracy, that is our Bahamas, party conventions are very important.
Well, what you have in this particular convention, you have the test of democracy in a by-election, and the chairmanship, that must be two battles, a lot for the infrastructure of the party. What's your comments on that?
Let us Bahamians understand that we, the little dot on the world map, celebrate the strength of democracy and how committed we are to democracy. And we, in the Progressive Liberal Party, the first formal party in our country, 70 years later, still strong, still democratic.
Yes, Honorable Paulette Zonico is in Washington. She is a PLP baby, active in the Progressive Liberal Party from the age of 13. What does this day mean to you? Paulette Zonico, my colleague, my friend, and I'm so proud of the progress that you're making and have made in broadcasting. Now you are a diplomat. What does this day mean to you?
But I think that this is so important that we celebrate the growth and development of the Progressive Liberal Party. We are the oldest political party in the Commonwealth. And what an example we have set for others to follow. Realizing that all other political parties have come out of us, from us. And so I think we have a lot to be proud of, a lot to celebrate. The next few days are going to be of celebrating the accomplishment of the Progressive Liberal Party as the new day government over the last 2 years. And so I think it's going to be exciting, but it's also going to be exciting because they are laying out now the new plan. The plan that started being unveiled by the Governor General at the recent opening. You will hear that now the roadmap to accomplishing
Now,
that road.
Paula, you're based in the Washington, D.C. area, and when you're away from home, you get a completely different perspective of the Bahamas than those of us who are here day in, day out. Now, what do you see from your vantage point, and how are we being received from people in the D.C. area?
Well, I think the Bahamas is being received very, very well. I think we have so much to be proud of, especially as you look at around the world. And everybody wants to come to the Bahamas. I think an example of that is to see the rise in our tourism rate, where you go and say, you're from the Bahamas, you want to go there, and people are speaking very highly about it.
And as being segue, we have another guest here. But I just before I usually introduce our guest. All right, so we're gonna get right back to you, Paulette. But we have another guest, and I want to give a little perspective. We're talking about 70 years, and when we look at the Progressive Liberal Party as the first organized party, what we tend to forget that it was all inclusive. As a matter of fact, some of the founding fathers of the Progressive Liberal Party are William Cartwright, Cyril Stevenson, H.M. Taylor were white. It wasn't about a color, it was about, what was it about? Gender equality. It was about economic empowerment.
It's always interesting to me, Debbie, that those three men came from Long Island. So really, the PLD came out of Long Island. But that is introduced our new guest, our second guest, and he is the Member of Parliament for Central and South Africa, the Honorable John Binder. Welcome.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
You are a first-time MP, and what does it mean for you to be in convention for this 55th National Convention and 70 years into the PLD?
Well, first of all, the vibe here is just amazing. The excitement of the people, the people that came out to support the party. It is definitely a new day, and for me, it's a progression of our country in a whole. You know, the BLD was the ones that they gave in our sovereignty, and it makes me feel special to be able to be a part of the next generation to elevate our country and give our people economic empowerment and a future. It's all about the youth, our greatest resource.
Now we know that Abaco is one of those islands that suffered tremendous devastation because of Dorian. How can you actually measure the progress that you are making in your constituency since you've been in the seat?
That's one of the reasons I stand here today, because after Dorian there was nothing happening. They basically left Abaco and took it off of some of the maps. And in the last 2 years you have seen things happening. And just the optimism in Abaco right now.